Yo guys here, it's your friendly neighborhood reverb here from TSE, back at it again with another video. Today's going to be a different type of video. It's going to be Modern Warfare versus Cold War. This is a widely known topic. People are deciding which one they should buy, which one they should keep, that kind of thing. And I'm just going to be going over some of the stats and features of both games, and which one you should buy and which one you shouldn't. Before we start, I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. I really want to hit 1,000 subscribers by the middle or, the end of next year. It's a huge milestone for us, so please, please, please click that subscribe button. It would really help us out in the long run, and it's free. I don't see why you wouldn't do it. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Let's start out with Modern Warfare. With the multiplayer, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, because some of the kill streaks that are there, I feel like some of them were a little bit OP. Now, it was still a very, very fun, multiplayer experience. I think that Search and Destroy was 10 out of 10. TDM was 10 out of 10. But the fact that a lot of people use 7.25s and riot shields, that kind of took away that 1 point. That's why it's 9 out of 10. And some of the score streaks and kill streaks, like the VTOL Jet or the White Prosperous, even on smaller maps, it really, really was a bit overpowered. So that's another reason why I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So multiplayer, all the way. I'd give that a 9 out of 10. I love the game. I love the multiplayer. And yeah. Now, the co-op. I haven't really played much co-op, but I think it's a very fun game mode. I think if you're a campaign player or just, a normal player that's not looking for too much of a competitive, multiplayer experience, I'd rate this co-op a good 7 out of 10. It had a lot of good key points in it, but some of the points just, didn't hit the spot as much as other COD games. But, it was still a great co-op experience. Alright, now let's move on to the campaign. Campaign, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. The only reason I'm giving the campaign 8 out of 10 is because it didn't have that much thrill. Sure, it was an awesome campaign. Awesome ending with the Task Force 141. I'm not really going to spoil it if you haven't already played it, but, there is some playthroughs out on YouTube if you want to watch it. But, it was a solid campaign all around. It wasn't no Modern Warfare 2 campaign, but, it was, a campaign. It was a good campaign, but I really wouldn't call that 10 out of 10 just yet. So, that's why I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, because, sure, it was a decent campaign. A lot of people might actually think different on that. That, once again, I'm going over my opinion and my opinion only. Now, let's start out with some of the mechanics. The mechanics, sure, there were some broken things like slide canceling, but, a lot of it felt super smooth. Tactical sprint was such a huge feature. It really helped out with, double time was a good perk. I feel like tac sprint was a very good feature for them to add, and I'm going to add a 10 out of 10 to this mechanic section, because sliding it was just such a smooth mechanical experience, no matter what you played on, mouse and keyboard or controller. Like, if you played on a toaster, I think it would still feel good. So I'm giving the mechanics a 10 out of 10. Now let's go into the guns. Sure, I'm not going to be going over every single weapon, but I am going to be going over, every gun that is out since launch. Up the whole way up to the SPR and the, Jack 12 or whatever. So, I think a lot of the guns were really good in multiplayer, but some Warzone guns, I feel like the Bruin and the Grau, even the Jack 12 at one point were, super OP. The SPR for 2 weeks was the best gun in the game. So I feel like the weapons, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10, because, Activision really didn't. It took them a while to respond to some of the, requests saying nerf or buff, I feel like they were balanced in some ways, but in other ways it was, a bit overpowered. So, that's why I'm giving that a 9 out of 10. But, all around, the graphics are super clean. I feel like the graphics, I'm also going to give a 10 out of 10. All the textures are super detailed. As in, if you look at Defend the Houses, freezing time in Modern Warfare, the link will be in the description. If you look at that and you look at some of the textures, like even the Joker coming out of the gun was like super detailed. Like they didn't miss a spot on the graphics in this game. That's why I'm giving also the graphics a 10 out of 10. Now, yeah, that's about it for Modern Warfare, but let's move on to Cold War. Now, we are going to be going over in each game a few, key points. Of course, going to be going over multiplayer, every game mode that's in it. Not every game mode in multiplayer, but, each game will have key points. So, for instance, Modern Warfare will be going over multiplayer, co-op, campaign, Warzone, that kind of thing. And in Cold War, zombies, multiplayer, co-op, campaign. We're also going to be going over mechanics, graphics, and guns. So, keep an eye out for that. Now for Warzone. Warzone is a part of Modern Warfare, and, since it's free to play and everybody can play, I think it was probably the best battle royale on the market. It is, actually. I'd say besides, some other games, it's in the top 3 all the way. 150 players, and it's just your standard battle royale. And if you want to go look at some Warzone gameplay, check out that on YouTube, or go to our channel, we have some up too. I do feel like Warzone was a very key point in reviving Modern Warfare in a way. I feel like if Warzone wasn't a thing, Modern Warfare wouldn't be one of the top games in 2019. So, I'm going to give Warzone all around a 10 out of 10. Just because of its mechanics that it carried over to Modern Warfare. The fact that they run on the same engine. I just like the fact that it's like Modern Warfare except in a battle royale. Now, Blackout was sort of not good, so I really wasn't expecting much from this Warzone experience, but I think, if I'm being completely honest, I think it blew us all away. So, yeah. Now, let's move on to Cold War. Cold War's price is, the standard $60 for the standard edition, $70 for the cross-gen. Now, a complete edition, or advanced edition, whatever they call it, I'm pretty sure it's over $100, so $120, $110, whatever it is. It's one of those two. And yeah, the price comparison between Modern Warfare and Cold War, Modern Warfare was actually on sale for quite a bit. So I'm going to call Modern Warfare at $50, maybe $60. And I didn't really have the game at launch, so I'll have to do some research on the prices. They'll be up on screen now. But those are the prices, so you compare these two yourselves. See which one you think is worth the money after we go over Cold War. Now, Cold War. Let's start out with the multiplayer. I'm going to give the multiplayer a 6 out of 10. And I know this is a pretty decently low rating for a COD game. I think since the multiplayer had so many different mechanics from Modern Warfare, and since Modern Warfare was like 11 out of 10, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like Cold War's multiplayer was a step down from Modern Warfare. Some of the mechanics just feel very clunky. The running and the sliding, a bit different. There's not tactical sprint. There's no really big features like in Black Ops 3 there was, jetpacks and wall runs. There's really not that big of, special features. I feel like it's very normal movement, and even maybe worse than normal movement. But yeah, I feel like, the multiplayer was very, step down. I didn't really like it that much, but, it's all personal preference when it comes to that kind of thing. Campaign, 9 out of 10. It's such a good, suspenseful campaign. There's a lot of choices you have to make that will, depend on what happens for the rest of the campaign. I'm not going to spoil any of it, but it's an all-around a great campaign. I'd say it's not, Modern Warfare 2's 11 out of 10. This is 2 points down, which really isn't that bad of a rating. So I do think 9 out of 10 campaign is an awesome campaign. Now, let's go over zombies. Zombies is another 10 out of 10. It's so similar to other COD games. When they said that it would compete with Black Ops 2 zombies, I feel like everybody was blown away that this would actually be a thing. So, the fact that it competes with, other COD zombies that were top of the line, I feel like this is an awesome, zombies. I mean, the Pack-a-Punch is a good change, but, it's just adding more. Some of the Easter eggs, like, I'm not going to spoil any of it, but a lot of the Easter eggs that were in, zombies are awesome. I feel like zombies was just an awesome experience. Even though the mechanics were pretty clunky, I feel like it's still a 10 out of 10. Now, speaking of mechanics, let's get into mechanics. Mechanics. This is a tough one to go with, but I'm going to give it a 7. I feel like since Modern Warfare's was, 10 out of 10, I feel like the mechanics in this game were once again a step down. The ADS on snipers were really, really not hitting it, I don't think, for any of the COD community. I don't think that. I feel like the snipers' ADS time was just too slow for, any COD game out there. Even, like I said, in Modern Warfare, it sort of brings back the old vibes. It's kind of worse than old vibes, in a way, if you really think about it. Like, it's so slow, it's almost impossible to quickscope unless you literally load your gun full of quickscope attachments and nothing else. So, I'm going to give the mechanics, like I said, whatever I said in the beginning, 7 out of 10. It just didn't really feel as clean and awesome as Modern Warfare's mechanics did. So, yeah. That's basically the mechanics. Now let's go over the weapons. Now, the guns in this game, I feel like all around are pretty balanced. Sure, the MP5 before its nerf was, the best gun in the game. And I think that was really the only thing that gave, I'm going to rate the weapons a 9 out of 10 because of some of the OP stuff that came in, They would be 10 out of 10 because it is very balanced, but in some ways it's not. Snipers are too underpowered. The starting sniper is almost a 3-shot kill. The LW2 Tundra has to be the best gun in the game, and the 50 cal is not even a one-hit at the chest. So I feel like snipers are very underpowered, and shotguns are very overpowered. The fact that the Howard 77, even at range, can 2-shot somebody, and the Gallo SA-12 can, 3-shot somebody, it's just awesome, Not in a good way, though. Like, the shotguns are way too good, and the snipers are not good enough. So, I'm going to give the weapons, like I said, a 9 out of 10. And yeah, that's Cold War for you guys. Like I said, in between Modern Warfare and Cold War, the prices. So, here, I'll list all these statistics on screen now. And, you can go over these and which one you should buy. Now, for my opinion, I do think that you should buy Modern Warfare. Now, I just think this because it has an overall better rating, it's on sale more, and just the fact that it's just a lot smoother than Cold War. So it is, in the end, up to you. It's all your personal preference. But, if you're looking for a more cinematic experience, in some ways Modern Warfare is good. But, the zombies and campaign and Cold War are top of the notch. So, it's kind of a hard decision to make, Like, do you want to be up to date with Cold War with not a better game than Modern Warfare? Or do you want to be up to date with Modern Warfare, but behind because it's an older COD game? But, even though it came out in 2019, it's still a very solid game for its age. I mean, although it's only like a year old, it's very, very awesome game. So, I'm recommending Modern Warfare and Warzone to anybody out there. So, that is basically the stats. Here, I'll put them on screen. They're probably still on screen, but here, look over these again and, decide which one you want to buy. And yeah, that is basically the video for you guys. We're trying to hit 1K subs by the end of next year, middle of next year. So please go ahead and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's free. I don't see why you wouldn't do it just to help out. And yeah, that is TSC, look on Modern Warfare versus Cold War. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like, hit the notification bell, make it, solid, not just an outline, so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And yeah, that's basically the video for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is TSE Reverb, here from TSE, of course. That was clunky outro, but you guys get the point. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.